It all started back in childhood because I've always been creative, loved making things, always had a project going. And then I didn't really consider pursuing art as a career. I went the science route and got a degree in dental hygiene. And after practicing dental hygiene for several years, there was just kind of a void, my creativity void, I call it. And so I decided, one day actually while I was working, I vividly remember deciding, I'm going home, I'm getting in the phone book, finding out where I can buy some clay and start sculpting. And I'd taken a few classes in college, so I had a little bit of knowledge, but it was real basic. And really I talked to people that had done some sculpting. I joined the Kansas City Clay Guild, talked to people there, got online, went to Barnes & Noble, read books, and just jumped in. I did take, some painting classes and other art classes. I think most artists love all different kinds of art, but the trick is to just kind of stay focused on one thing and do one thing well. At least that's what I'm trying to do, instead of get too distracted. And I really enjoy the three-dimensional thing. I'm most comfortable with three-dimensionals. I guess the grandparent theme kind of happened when I was visiting my grandma. In that same time period, we were looking at old photographs, and I saw a picture of her and Grandpa in their swimsuits in the ocean. And I just thought it was so cute. I said, Grandma, would you mind if I sculpted you? And she kind of giggled and was embarrassed, And she said, sure. And so I did that sculpture, and my husband looked at it and he said, you need to do something with this. And there happened to be an open artist competition that the Clay Guild was putting on, so I entered it reluctantly, and I won that competition. And it's just kind of springboarded from there. People enjoy it, it makes them happy, and everybody has a great story about their grandparents. They're just special to everybody, I think. So. Well, the process starts with an inspiration kind of in my mind, and I put that on paper and sketch a rough sketch. And then I construct an armature just out of a wire kind of mesh and start forming the clay over that. I have to let each layer dry really well, and then as it develops, I add the details. Last thing I do is the face. I love to do the face because that's when their character and personality appears. Try to put a sense of humor in my sculptures, and that's when it develops usually, or is expressed as on the face. So after I'm finished sculpting it, I let it dry, and it can take up to a week. You have to make sure it's thoroughly dry. I actually put it in the kiln and let it candle for overnight, which means it's on a really low temperature in the kiln. So there's absolutely no moisture left in, because I have learned from experience that it can explode in the kiln. And after hours of work, it's not what you want to see when you open the kiln. So then it's fired to what they call a bisque state, which it's just the clay becomes white, and then back to the studio, and I hand paint on all the glazes and refire it, and then in that step is when the glazes come, the colors come out in that firing. I'm hoping in the future for more opportunities like this, where I get to expose my art to people who enjoy and value it, and I'm hoping that one opportunity kind of leads to another opportunity, and I'll take those as they come. Now I'm getting to a stage in my life where I can have more time, and especially in the next 2 to 3 years as my boys will be going off to college, So I'll go with it as far as it'll go. You know, if it's across the country, across the world, this is what I love. And my husband would love to quit his job and support me in mine, so we'll see what happens.